Hey friends, so in this video, welcome back again. We are going to discuss about depression, how people feel depression, and how it affects our whole society as a part. And also, we will see some impacts of depression on our mental and physical health. So, firstly, we can start with the age of teenage. Like, um, do, if we consider most of the teenagers suffer from many different issues, especially in India. Like we have an culture of competitive exams and college life, and also home pressure and other kinds of things, due to which student got some stress and anxiety, and after a time, if it is not cured, then the student feels depression. So Anand, what do you think about it? Which kind of student mostly feel depression in college?
Yes, firstly, I want to explain all things from the starting why or when our depression start. Means as a teenager or any teenager person, म्हणजे student around age of 15 to 20 or 25 maybe. This is the time of growing ourselves from a boy to a man, we can say. Like there in this phase there will be many struggles or responsibilities came on you, and many internal hormonal changes also happen with you. So many times what happens, this the teenager don't know how to manage his mind, and how to tackle all the situations. So many times he feels very sad about it that he can't able to handle this situation. And sometimes the stress of exam, the family pressure, or any other social issue increase his stress, and he goes in depressions. Like he feels that only he have these problems, and everyone is happy kind of, and he feels that I am alone, I don't have any friends, or not have any one that can understand me betterly. So many times what happen, that teenager can broke into many pieces, or can build his own self by recovering from depression.
Yeah, I understand that. It is truly valuable thing you have shared there. Many of the teenagers face from the depression, and some of them just get broke afterwards, and some of them get recovered and become better version of themselves. But the actual phase of the depression is really struggling. Like majority of the people, cannot understand a person's depression from outside, because it is a kind of inside feeling, and knowing one is depressed or he is a normal person in today's digital age is very much difficult. Like everybody is kind of a sad, kind of a in FOMO nowadays, but in this kind of thing, it is hard to identify who is actually suffering very much, because the person who is suffering do not share his or her feeling with others, and due to this, nobody can actually understand his what he is going through, and no one can care him or cure his problem. So firstly, if you think like you are going through some of the thing like loneliness, depression, stress, these are kind of similar things. uh, we don't understand the depression fully, like we just use the word very frequently in our day-to-day conversations, but the actual meaning can be scientifically different. Person can feel very much different than you, and if you are just saying him, you are just giving him a lesson or a lecture, like you say him that you should not be depressed, you should forget about one particular thing. It doesn't really happen by this kind of thing. If we are just talking to the person like he is ill and he is depressed, then the depression can become more higher. But if we talk to him like a normal person, if we just let him experience it, then it can slowly fade away. That's what I think, and I had listened this in the one lecture of physics wala, that is Alak Pandey. He also says that when somebody is in depression, we should not tell him that you should not be in depression. It is a phase that everybody experiences in some time, and if one is experiencing a depression, then we cannot tell him that you should keep it away, because it is not the kind of thing which can be cured by taking medicine or other kind of thing. It really needs some time to get cured and get away from it. So we should just make the person feel good about what is going in the surrounding, and also we should not make him revisit those memories which have created the depression. Like I will quote some examples. Like if someone is facing through exam stress, like if one student is get failed in exam, or he got lesser marks than expectations, sometimes it can lead to kind of stress and depression. So at that point, if we are constantly reminding him that you should not, you should forget those things, even if we are just saying that forget the exam pressure, forget the marks, everything, we are just reminding him to make that. Instead of trying to forgive him, we can just make him feel good about what is going in the world. Like we can ask him to play with us, we can make him feel good by taking him to a trip or other kind of thing. But if we are just trying to give him some kind of lecture or some kind of talk, then it will not work. What do you think?
Yes, it's correct. I think the mental these are mental problems are more appearing in this model world, but in the ancient period, like in India, uh, as we all know about Mahabharata or Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna was telling or giving Bhagavad Gita's knowledge to Arjun, the Arjun always questioned to Krishna and express his feeling what happened actually in his mind. That firstly he was confused that how I can fight with my relatives, my uh, grandfather, all this kind of closer relatives. So there is also solution for the mental uh, fatigue or mental confusion in Bhagavad Gita. Likewise, when we came uh, to around 90s or 80s, there was joint families, like their parents, grandparents, all children or all brothers, uncles was in one family. So the childs are more social with everyone and enjoy everything and share everything with everyone. Mostly nowadays there is only nuclear family, means only parents and their childs. There is no grandparents. Mostly grandparents gives child's experience about their life, what was happening in their eras and what is happening in now. So children become curious to know what this change happened and how this happened. So as you said that when any person is depressed, we should not say it is wrong, you should not be depressed. There are many solutions for it. Like first we need to clear his mind about his uh, assumptions for himself. Like uh, if he feel himself as a loser or failure due to any exam failures, then we should convince him there is also life beyond this exam, and there are many people who tackles this problem and solve their problems by conquering their mind. By giving this example, he can get clear, and then uh, we can distract him to other things like playing or engaging with other social interactions that can help to heal and forget his assumptions or that pain for at the lower range.
Yeah, I understand it. The topics you have touched, that person uh, could be in a depression when there can be an exam failure, then can be a uh, nuclear family. Or I think also there is a one another reason, like a person can suffer from breakups or kind of thing. We all know that there are some relationships in college also, which many students just get into some relationship, then they feel that they are having not their emotions are not matching, their mindsets are not matching, and they somehow one will break up or kind of just forget another person. Then the student can feel kind of depression or stress about it, and can feel loneliness if somebody just comes into his life and goes away. Then one can feel loneliness, and this kind of loneliness needs some time to be cured. It do not get cured by any kind of another external factor. It's all about inner thing. Like we, it needs some time to forget those things, those breakups or those feelings about a person. So this kind of thing also can make a person depressed, like feeling of the failure in the exam, feeling of being broke up with another person, or just being in a nuclear family can lead to this kind of thing. Like you was explaining that nuclear family has only mother and father. Mostly what happens in these kinds of family are there are the only three people in the family: mother, father, and child. Mostly mother and father both are professionals or are there in careers, so they both go to job. So at this kind of thing, what happens that uh, the student cannot get enough uh, interaction with his family. So this can lead to some kind of depression as well. What do you think?
Yes, due to jobs of parents, their child become very lonely, so they parents unable to nourish their child or unable to give them or lessons from their life or sharing experience that leads uh, a limited growth of child mind, I think. And as you said that breakups also the reason of depression, the main cause of that, the teenagers get addicted to that person, means they that kind of addiction when that person goes, as we all know, there is nothing permanent in this life. Anything happened at any time. Likewise, if we depend on any person for our happiness, if that person goes, obviously we became sad. So we should aware of it. Our happiness should not depend on any person or anything. It should be our internal happiness. So we will not get depressed, and we should also uh, also explore the other means in relationship the couple should also explore what is the mind of next person, that is where is his vision goes. Like many relationship are for only enjoying or for only pleasures, because they get bored alone, so they only share their experience thoughts only, that is limited. And some have the a goal that they will get married. So there are different relationship, like we can say temporary or permanent. The teenagers should identify which is one there is, so they will not get 100% indulge in it.
Yeah. So I also agree with you. Also, there can be another point of depression, like you said it was a low or no social interaction. Can you explain it?
Yes, many times what happens from the childhood, many childs become lonely and their nature become silent, or they love to enjoy their own selves. Like from the uh, in nuclear families, they only live alone at their home, so they don't want to indulge with other friends or other friend groups nearby them. They only play games, or they don't play any physical games like cricket or any other exercise type, physical exercise type. So there is also reason that many sat in their room only, and that goes deeper and deeper for their depression. They unable to express feeling to anyone because they don't believe on any friend. In today's era, our society become that they don't want to accept depression word. Means if I saying I am depressed, then my friends laugh on me, and they said there is no kind of depressions. You should move it from your life. But how to move it, no one tells us. So there should be any mental supporter for you, that you can share your every feeling to that person, and then he should suggest anything for you better, I think.
Yeah, there are some friends in your group. There can be one or two friends which can really understand what the emotional part of the this is, like what depression is, what mental stress is, or what are the issues regarding this. So he can understand your feelings or emotion as well. So I think like most of the friends don't really understand these kinds of things, and also so they are not able to connect with the friend in a deeper perspective and understand what's going on with it. They can only look from an external perspective and try to judge what is going on, try to just make some predictions, but it really don't value much if you are just trying to judge a person from its external behavior, that what he is going through. It can be a sensitive case, or it can be going pass by phase of your life, like every 3 to 5 days we can be depressed, or we can be just low for some kind of failures as well. So it really depends on recognizing those kinds of things. It is a natural part of your life, or it can be a critical one. We need to recognize it, and after recognizing the phase, we can consult with others. Like if you don't find a person within your reach that can help you in these kinds of feeling, if you don't find anyone who to whom you can share your feelings freely and one can understand you, then you can try try to find someone in the online perspective. Like there are some sites or some telephone numbers, toll free numbers, which you could dial to just have a call with a neurologist or some kind of uh, person who can understand your feelings and which can guide you to how to tackle through the depression or this kind of phase. So I think some of the educational policies or some of the educational institutes, like I said, Physics Wala and other also some major companies in this uh, sector have some kinds of helplines which students can dial and share that they are going through some kind of depression, some kind of anxiety, and then the people sitting there can understand you and they can recommend you about what can you do. And we should also encourage the student to consult with any doctor or any kind of uh, person which is professional in this kind of things, which know these things in a deeper perspective. Because just like you have said that in our society, if we just use these kinds of words, other will laugh at us, but they can't understand it on a deeper perspective. So we should consult with some kind of professional so he can guide us to what can we do. And also if we see someone who is going through this kind of thing and not talking to anyone, feeling lonely too much, then we should also try to uh, understand his feelings, not to tell him that what can he do next, but to just make him being said. Like most of the people just listen to others if they are trying to talk to others. Like one will listen to you if he is trying to say something, but he will not actually listen to you to understand what you are going through. We should also encourage this kind of thing, like we should understand person, we should listen to understand, not to answer back. And also if one is going through this kind of feeling, it can be sometimes very much critical. Many students and many teenagers just commit suicide or kind of lethal thing which sacrifices their own life. This can be dark sometimes, this can be make us feel sad about the reality, but this is what it is. Many of the people are not able to go through a particular phase of their life which they are struggling, and they feel lonely, very much untold or very much depressed, isolated at that time. And if nobody understand them at that point of time, if nobody makes them feel uh, heard, then this can lead to uh, just sacrificing their life. What do you think?
Yes, as you said that every person have their different or problems. I remember a quote that I read that was every person you met uh, that he is fighting with his own battles. So we don't need to judge them and advise them according to our uh, plans or battles. Means everyone have their different social dilemma according to their definition or assumptions, and there is main also I think there is also main cause of that social media platform like Instagrams. uh, there are many social media contents, reels or shorts that helps to trigger the depression of teenager more. Like on social media many people show like I have this at 20s, I have this, means teenagers saw their age student are doing extraordinary, but they are only 1%, there are 99 teenagers that are with us. But that social media triggers student and get them in more depression. So teenager also avoid that kind of social media, because everyone is best at their positions. Like there is no comparison between sun and moon. They are right on their positions. Likewise, teenagers should think that he is special and he have his different talent that he should develop by finding. And if depression goes more deeper, then he should connect with any psychiatrist, online or offline. As you said, there are many toll-free links, or take any guidance of any influencer like physics wala. Like there are many solutions from spiritual mentors and also other mentors.
So yeah, that I also agree. And you said like the social thing. If one the family like if the person child has only mother and father in his family, then he can suffer through such kind of feeling, being lonely and that kind of thing. At that point, if it was a joint family, like there was some grandfather or grandmother or just uncle, auntie, cousins, then this whole thing can make the person not feel lonely. And there can be many people like we know that majority of our actual personality or the our personality and our mindset is shaped by our childhood days, and most of it is shaped by our grandmother or grandfather by telling us stories and kind of some things which related to our uh, spirituality or that kind of thing, which makes us feel good about it, which helps us uh, go through the phase of depression and stress. So having a family with another people as well, like a joint family or also our brothers and other persons, really helps in improving a child's mental health in his childhood days. But after a child is uh, become some old and he become a teenager, then he becomes a professional, working professional. At that time, the majority of the influence by his family or uh, yeah, grandfather, grandmother really doesn't count too much, because at that point he is very much engaged with the outer world, like he is influenced by his friends, he is influenced by his colleagues at office. Then at that time, his parents or his family cannot influence him too much. But if a child is grown something like in his childhood days, majority of the lessons that can be useful in this kind of way are told by his or her grandmother or grandfather, then child can understand, or child can just go through these kinds of thing. That's what I think.
Yes, mm, that many factors affect teenagers according to his age. In childhood, their parents influence him. In teenagers, some social media or social media influencer influence him. And in his profession, his colleagues influence him. Likewise, there is also one cause that increasing the depression in youths or teenagers, that is competitions. I remember a line that competition kills kills our happiness. Means we try to compete with everyone, with our colleagues, friends, that came with jealousy feelings with ourselves within. Like we get jealous about our colleague that he get good marks and I get bad. So it is totally wrong that we should collaborate or grow together. Everyone's goals are different, so we cannot compare on one such common criteria of exam or anything. there are different things for different persons. As I said that there everyone have their different talents and they are specialized in it. So we cannot compare on the basis of any exam or study. There are also main role of competitive exam that there is very low success rate. Like in UPSC, there are only 1,000 students are selected from the 30 to 40 lakh students. So other 99% of student get rejected. So that there is also factor we can call as luck. So without that going to depress, if we think logically that if you know there will be only 0.001% chance of getting that seat, then you can stabilize your mind. And I think tackling depressions means understanding your mind properly and train it by yourself, as many book reading by books like Bhagavad Gita or any mind book that tells how mind works and how it wires and the power of affirmations, all kind of stuff helps to get out of depressions and increase our emotional intelligence.
Yeah, also yeah, tell that one should read books like Bhagavad Gita and that kind of stuff. That reminds me that there is a quote like, if you are trying to learn new things, then you should go with new books or new kind of people which are telling it. But if you are just trying to see the problems which are there from decades or from the starting of human being, then you can find those answers in really religious books or that kind of stuff. So really the depression and the stress, anxiety, these kinds of problems are from starting of the human age itself. So we can also find their answers in some spiritual and original books. We can prefer to see like Bhagavad Gita, you have tell. There can be another religion books like Quran or just Bible. With this can also tell you something about how to deal with these kinds of feelings. So I think this was uh, all about today's uh, discussion. Let's summarize this. What we have seen is in today's podcast, we have seen that depression has some kind of reasons behind it. Like in teenage years, we can suffer depression because of nuclear family, because of low social interaction, because of breakups and other kind of stuff. Also, there can be some other aspects like competitive exam pressure or family pressure, or just even our friend circle can be impacted, can impact our physical health or mental health. Also, feeling lonely can lead to this kind of thing. Also, we have seen some solutions like we can concern with specialist, and also we can just dial some helpline numbers and other kind of thing. We can read spiritual books as well. So I think this was all about today's episode. It was a dark episode. Hope you gained some knowledge out of it, and also you should tell others about it as well. So bye.
Bye.